4. The badger's spiritual body broke apart on the ground, coins rolled oozing out of the body. Fox changed form into human and picked up those coins since he was close. Then he walked over to the other coins and picked them up. There were a total of 12 coins of one type and 11 coins of another. He just put them in his pants that appeared as soon as he fully shifted to a form that could wear them. The rest of us followed his example and morphed back into humans so we could talk. Brownface asked,
Hey Alpha, what just came out of them?
Spirit coins. There are 2 types and we got some of each. Don't worry about it. For now, there weren't many, and we just dispersed the first spirit to come and be interested in being a guide for us. This is another lesson for you, Brownface, and the rest of you. The spirits are most often testing us. Something that might seem basic, as a spirit going to a watering hole, could be one of the biggest tests of your life.
We stood at attention and answered as we always did in near unison, answering, Yes, Alpha.
That spirit might not have been the most powerful and wasn't so impressive, but it was deciding whether we might be able to work together. Now we won't know. To tell you the truth, I would like something a little more versatile than a badger, but we will figure something out. Most often there is a spiritual quest to go through to make sure there might be compatibility.
Minutes passed, many more still, and we sat by the lake again, listening to the sounds of the spirit world, allowing it to take us in, to whirl around us. The wind around us was a gray color, slightly foggy, and cool as always. We could tell when there would be a chill in the air when it was a light blue, and a bit warmer when it was more orange in tint. Monkey Feet was fidgeting the least for some reason. She rubbed her arms up and down, as though doing something such as killing that spirit had a sort of cleansing effect and took away some jitters. It also might be the calming that tasting a spirit that breaks apart in your mouth gives you a taste of their spiritual energy, but who knows? Without knowing back then, I would have thought it blasphemous to eat a spirit, but over time, that sort of thing happens. We'll get to that eventually. Our first real fight against a spirit was successful. We had gotten some coins, but nothing else nifty dropped from them. We hoped perhaps we could meet more badgers. Perhaps more would show up, so we can practice killing them. The spirit who scored us showed up, possibly an hour of us waiting. We didn't have watches and there was no sun, so we couldn't tell. The vibe around us was so calming that we easily heard the spirit walking up on its humanoid bare feet. It pointed with the board it had towards a direction along the beach, and a cave started to peel away from the grass and mud. It stretched and bulked up like it was waking up after an afternoon nap. It stretched at the top into a point at first, then yawned back down as though it was closing its mouth, just tall enough for even Fox to walk through. The spirit was looking at the board ahead, and it was wandering towards, then onto the lake. It walked the surface of the lake for nearly 50 yards, staring at the board when it finally looked up, realizing where it was. It dropped into the water, just realizing gravity works just as well. It didn't surface again. As teens, we wondered if we should be worried about the spirit, but we looked over at our alpha, who was already walking along the beach toward the cave entrance, so we followed. The yawning cave entrance looked like it was grown right from the ground, as though a huge spirit dug its fingers into the earth and raised it for us to walk in. Rocks fell to the ground as we walked up, a root from a close-by tree, wrapped back towards a wall since it had become loose in the air. Young insect spirits poked their heads out into the open area, not expecting it, but ducked their heads back after seeing it and the humanoids coming towards them. I remember the feeling when we walked under the cave entrance. My skin crawled from the critters that were above us, and likely under us as well. Fox let us know.
I was told this once before, bug spirits are good food. You never know if you need to survive in the spirit world for some time. They might help you survive in a pinch. Of course, with us, you'll need a bunch of them.
It chewed the worm into pieces, looking at each of the werewolves in its den, hoping we wouldn't be as easily broken apart in its sharp jaws. With a high pitch, uncharacteristically high for a large badger, it squeaked out.
Jailers, angry. Reason here?
It growled at us. Fox asked,
You angry? Why? Reason?
The badger squeaked loudly back.
Young.
Fox attempted to reason what it meant, likely meaning it did not appreciate us killing its young, so this thing's young ones could be spirit totems. The other badgers weren't honey badgers, but we must have been within the same family. Likely meant it was fairly powerful. The two wolf teens walked to either side of Fox and growled at the spirit, and Fox put a hand over each of their muzzles. Fox called out to the much larger spirit than us.
We're sorry. They hurt us also. How can we make it nice?
Being told that didn't change the shiver crawling at the back of my neck. Each of us brushed the top of our thick hairs, pushing away imagined bugs that had not dropped. I walked along all so fascinated that bugs were all over and wondered how they tasted. There probably were many more bug spirits than animals, just like in the material realm. We continued to walk down the tunnel for about 50 yards. We had gone a bit underground, the tunnel turning a couple times, but no winding tunnels to lose ourselves. After the first length, there were some smaller tunnels leading off to the side. Being a bit shorter, some beady eyes looked back at us when we looked down. Brownface nudged Tree Shredder with his elbow, then started to form into a wolf. TS followed him into the other form, but Fox darted over before they went down the tunnel. Our red-haired alpha grabbed an ear of each and yanked hard before they went down the tunnel. He whispered,
You two have got to be kidding me. Do you not realize where we are? We are in a den. Don't you smell that?
The two wolves sniffed up into the air.
That is a larger badger you smell, and whatever it is might not appreciate you going after their younger spirits. Don't go after them. Just wait until we know why we are here.
We continued down the tunnel. It didn't slope downward far, but it was further than we expected. There were another 4 tunnels that were little areas of beady eyes, but each of the next times, those eyes vanished through the dirt. From what I could figure, we might have gone perhaps 100 yards total before we felt the ground rumbling at our hands and feet. A large honey badger at the height of Fox standing tall, but larger going deeper into the tunnel, trudged towards us with big paws, claws that put ours to shame, and a pointed snout, sniffing around as it walked up. It did not attack first. We hoped it wouldn't. The smaller badgers did give us some trouble, but mostly because they were smaller. This was much larger and also likely meaner. Its white fur along the top was caked with mud. It had some bugs jumping off back into the walls if they had the time. Its body had been scraping them from the cave walls naturally. A worm was much too slow, as the badger showed much more dexterity compared to the rest of its form, scratched it off of a shoulder, and scooped it up into its mouth with its tongue. Monkey Feet was a little freaked out that a huge spirit beast was in front of us, but I remember my smile from ear to ear. Putting my hand out, I walked up slowly like I was foolish enough to pet it. A high-pitched growl came out of the giant of a badger, and it looked back at Fox. It asked in tone, "What?" It looked back at me. Monkey Feet grabbed an arm and pulled back, whispering,
Don't. What is wrong with you? This isn't a pet. Look at it. It could take a good chunk out of you easily.
Tried to put his fingers on hers. I tried to pull away, but her grip was sturdy. It even pinched my arm a bit. I said,
Okay, let me go.
She released me. The badger swished its head from side to side. Thinking for nearly 10 seconds and deciding something, it squeaked out,
Predator. Bird. Stop.
Stop? Stop what? Is it attacking you and your children? Stop it from flying? We can try.
The badger spirit stood there and waited without response.
Where's this bird?
Other side.
Fox bowed slightly, not letting his eyes leave the badgers. He slowly walked back and grabbed the 2 wolves by the hairy coat and pulled them back. The pack followed his lead out of the cave. Looking down the small pockets of space to the sides, we saw no more eyes looking back at us. Just very small holes leading away from the larger ones. We walked at a quick pace to get out of the cave. When we all left the mouth of the cave, it slowly closed and the ground melded together like there was no spiritual entrance. Fox called out,
Back to material realm. We need bows.
Part of our training was with bows. The most skilled with us has been Brownface, which is often why he was excited when we practiced it. This time he got to try to kill something with it, which also seemed to have him thrilled.
3 of us will be with bows. The others will be wolves on the ground to chase and attack as soon as the bird hopefully hits the ground. We wouldn't want it to fly off after dropping it to the ground. 1 arrow probably won't kill it, but won't easily let it fly off. That is if we find it. It is probably flying and attacking, so trying to catch it in the tree is best. BF, you will be with the boy and me. We will shoot down the spirit, and MF and TS will rush it.